Hi, in our last episode, we talked about He, that is God, gives strength to the weary. And we say that God's resources are indescribable, they are also inexhaustible, but they are accessible. And all you need to do is just access them because His resources are available. Today I want to talk about rest for the weary. My name is Kuchio from CITAM ChurchOnline. I invite you to join me in this conversation as we explore the question, can a mortal man truly find rest? Can a mortal man truly find rest? This is a question that has been asked in different quarters. One of my favorite authors, A.W. Tozer, said this about the subject of rest, that you can't truly rest until every area in your life rests in God. That you can't truly rest until every area in your life rests in God. You see, rest can be a very elusive experience. There are people who lie down to rest, but never quite rest. There are people who take sabbatical breaks from work to rest, but never quite rest. There are people who go on vacation to rest, but never quite rest. There are people who divorce to rest, but never quite rest. Rest can be a very elusive reality. So I couldn't agree more with A.W. Tozer when he said, you can't truly rest until every area in your life rests. You see, Jesus invites those of us who are weary for rest. He says this in Matthew chapter 11, verse 28, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." That is a promise of God. But I wonder why rest remains elusive. You see, in Matthew chapter 11, verse 29, which comes after verse 28, says this. In fact, I'll read from verse 29 to 30. "Take my yoke upon you and learn from me," said Jesus, "for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." You see, to yoke two oxen together, a skilled carpenter designed the yoke to fit each ox individually. Since there was always a lead ox yoked together with one who would follow, the yoke was designed in such a way that the lead ox would pull the greater weight. The follower or the assistant ox was just to go with the flow because the lead ox carried or pulled the greater weight. When Jesus says, "Come to me," then he says, "But yoke with me." In other words, Jesus was saying, let me be like the lead ox. Let me pull the greater weight. Let me carry the bigger burden. Because I am the burden bearer. I am the yoke breaker. God is our burden bearer. And when He invites us to come to Him and to be yoked with Him, He's simply saying, go with the flow. Don't try to figure out everything. Don't try to change the direction. Let me lead you. If you are to experience rest that is elusive, You must be prepared to go with God's flow. You must allow Him to take a lead. You must not attempt to figure out everything. That's where you'll experience this rest that at times can be very elusive. Come to me with the words of Jesus. All ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart. So the question I want to ask you today is, what burden are you carrying? What load are you carrying? You see, Jesus said, His yoke is easy and His burden is light. If the yoke that you're carrying is hard and the burden that you're lifting is difficult, probably it is not His yoke or His burden. Probably you're carrying the burden or the yoke of religion. Maybe it's a relationship. You see, Jesus is not religion. Following Jesus is about a relationship. It is not Judaism, it is Jesus. It is not the law. It is love. You see, Christianity is spelled done, while religion is spelled doing. If you are involved in religion and you feel like you have had it, you are right to feel that way, because what you're involved in is religion. But God invites you to a relationship, because Christianity is spelled D-O-N-E. Christianity is not spelled C-H-R-I-S-T-I-N-I-T-Y. Christianity is spelled D-O-N. He said, it is finished. He paid the price for you and I to walk in a vibrant, meaningful relationship with Him. If what you are doing in the name of the Lord is burdensome and wearisome, then it probably is not His burden. For His burden is light. If what you are doing is causing you pain and heartache, fear and anxiety, failure and disappointment, probably it is not His burden, because His burden is easy. I mean, His yoke is easy and His burden is light. But you see, the heaviest burden that any human being can possibly carry is the burden of sin. You can't quantify the weight in tonnage or in pounds, in kilograms, because it is a very heavy burden. But even this burden of sin, God is prepared to help you experience rest. The question I began with is, can a mortal man find rest? Yes, a mortal man can find rest in God, in a relationship with God. A.W. Tozer was right in saying, you can't truly rest until every area in your life rests in God. Can a mortal man or woman truly find rest? Yes, by finding Jesus, who is rest personified. You see, when you find Jesus, you find rest from pain, you find rest from anxiety, you find rest from disease, you find rest from sin. It was St. Augustine of old who said, you created us for yourself, and our hearts are restless until they find rest in you. You created us for yourself, and our hearts are restless until they find rest in you. God would love to give you rest. God is inviting you to a place of rest. You see, rest was elusive in the Old Testament. It was elusive in the law. It was elusive in the Sabbath. Because the Sabbath pointed to Christ, because He is the Lord of the Sabbath. For you to experience true and meaningful rest, you can only find it in a relationship with God. My prayer is that you will experience true and meaningful rest this week as you go throughout the week. The Lord bless you richly. My name is Patrick Kuchio from CITAM Church Online. Please get in touch with us through our social media platforms. We'd like to know how you're engaging with this message. Rest for the weary. The Lord bless you.